In this video, I'm making my first ever leather knife sheath. This small knife is made by a company called Case. It's a sturdy little guy and was a perfect first knife to attempt to make a sheath for. Now, since filming this video, I've made a couple more sheaths and feel like I've really improved my skills each time, so stick around to see how I made this basic sheath with the tools I recently purchased. The first thing I'm doing is outlining the shape of the knife with a pencil on a piece of paper. I traced it along a line down the middle of the paper so that I could draw a perpendicular line 1 inch from the top of the knife. This is how much of the knife I wanted to stick out of the top when it sheaths, so I could easily pull it out. From the line I just drew 1 inch from the top of the knife, I'm measuring out about 3/8 of an inch along the pattern and drawing dots. When I connect these dots, I'll have a larger version of the pattern. This is the final pattern for the back of the sheath, which will be flat. I'm pretty sure this part can be optional, but I'm drawing the curved portion on the top so that the back of the sheath has sort of a curved shape back instead of being flat. The backside pattern is ready to be cut out. I'm using a Stanley box cutter with a new blade. When you're using these things, just make sure you're using a new blade. I hear you should also strop the blade even if it's new because you want it as sharp as possible. Next, I'm going to work on the pattern for the front of the sheath. I'm using the back template to trace onto a piece of paper as a starting point. Once I copied it over, I just extended the template by marking dots 3/4 of an inch past the line all the way around. This is going to account for a couple things. First off, I'm going to attempt to wet mold the front of the sheath to the knife so that it forms to the actual shape of the knife to make it a nice fit. This requires a little extra leather since it's going to wrap around the curvature of the knife just a bit. I also want to make sure I can sew a thread line along the sides, approximately 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the sheath. So 3/4 of an inch should do the trick. Now it's time to cut some leather. For the back piece, I'm using a 7 to 9 ounce veg tan. I wanted this piece to be firm and stable since it will be flat. Now for the front, I used a 4 to 5 ounce. I went with this size because I'm going to wet mold form it onto the knife. You may have noticed I tried 2 different ways to trace the pattern onto the leather. This is the first time I ever cut leather. I prefer the pen over the awl because it was much easier to trace and also easier to see when I was cutting the leather. Again, I'm a noob, so I'll continue to learn and see what works best for me. With my pieces cut out, I want to clean up the edges a bit. I have 2 edge bevelers, a number 2 for my 7 to 9 ounce and a number 1 for my 4 to 5 ounce. Okay, the groover so far has got to be the most satisfying leather tool in my arsenal. Time to wet mold the front piece to the knife. The first thing I do is dip it in water for a few seconds. I gave it about 5 minutes, then used a combination of my fingers, knuckles, and burnishing tools to form the leather over the knife. I mainly wanted the leather to show some of the detail and have a nice fit once it's sewn together. I did this about every 10 minutes for the first hour, and then maybe a few times over the next 12 hours. Before I let it sit overnight, I wrapped it in plastic to minimize any stagnant moisture. After it dried, I applied some leather balm and buffed it out to give it a nice shine. Next, it was time to glue the pieces together. Now, before I did this, I roughed up the edge with a sander to give it something for the glue to adhere to. I'm using barge cement. I found it pretty easy to apply on both sides. It also seemed to set pretty fast, so I'm glad I was very careful when I was joining the pieces. I let it dry overnight again, then flushed up the two pieces really carefully with my box cutter. Now that the two pieces were glued up, I went ahead and cleaned up the edges again with my edge bevelers. The number 1 for the front piece and number 2 for the back. To prepare for hand stitching, I used my stitch groover to mark out the path of the thread. I set it for about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I actually have two stitch grovers. Now this one here I have permanently set for 1/8 of an inch. If you notice, you'll see that I sawed off a piece that would otherwise protrude out the side so that it wouldn't brush up against the leather that is wet molded like this. I was actually really looking forward to this part. I finally got to use the chisels to create the holes for the thread. I found this to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to improving my skills with this using my rawhide hammer. I found hand stitching to be pretty therapeutic. I understand this is called a saddle stitch, and I found it pretty easy to learn and do. It definitely feels like something I will naturally get faster with the more I practice. I measure out the distance that I need to cover, then multiply it times 4, and then I add like 4 more inches to come with the length of thread that I actually need. Since filming this, I found this is a good starting point for me. So, for example, if you measure out 10 inches that you need to sew on your project, multiply that by 4, then add several more inches. This means you would probably need around 45 inches of thread to cover the 10 inches on the project, at least for a project like this. You may find yourself with a little bit more thread than you actually needed, but believe me, it's much better this way than to realize at the very end when you've been hand stitching for about 20-30 minutes that you actually needed a few more inches of thread. The final step I took was to try and burnish the edges to give it a more finished and professional look. I'm just using leather balm here. I know there are much better products out there to burnish edges. I just applied it on the edges and used my burnishing tool to smooth out the fibers and give this piece a nice finished look. Thank you so much for watching my first leatherworking project. I've had a lot of fun with this and learned a lot for sure. This was a great beginner project, and I plan to use what I've learned to continue improving my skills. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again so much for watching.